This pottery factory has survived 6 decades of war and conflict. At one point, there were nearly 40 workshops like this one in the Gaza Strip. But now, only a handful are left.
نشتغل بالصرفة انتهى وهذا كلام لا يعقل ليش هيك ليش اللي بصير احنا علينا ليش اللي بصير علينا احنا هيك ليش
But owner Sabri Atallah says Israeli airstrikes in May were the worst he's ever lived through.
احنا متوقعين ان كنا كل يوم انه ننقصع او نقتل او بسبب ايش؟ بسبب الحرب اللي احنا فيه.
But the Atallah family is determined to save the art they have practiced for 3 generations. We went to Gaza to see how this business is still standing. The dry soil they use as a base comes from the eastern parts of Gaza. It turns into mud in the washtub where workers mix it with water. Then they filter it to get rid of impurities like small rocks. It takes about 2 days of drying for the soup of water and mud to turn into clay. The machine smooths and molds the clay into chunks. The Atallah family runs 2 factories next to each other. Sabri's shop is the largest and has been around since the 1960s. Sabri's nephew Mustafa Muhammad Atallah learned the craft when he was 8 years old. Today, he helps his father run their own shop next to Sabri's.
بدينا بصناعة الفخار وراثة أبا عن جدة. التراث بدنا نضلنا نحافظ عليها، تراث فلسطيني إنه ما ينقرضش.
He's making a clay pot called kedra. It's used to cook a Palestinian dish of meat and rice, also called kedra, that's popular during Ramadan and holidays like Eid al-Adha. And that's the busiest time for the business. But this Ramadan was different. Gaza and neighboring Israel traded deadly rocket fire and devastating airstrikes in early May. Hundreds of people were killed in Gaza and 13 in Israel. The latest chapter in a long history of occupation and war.
يشوف اخوه مستشهد يشوف ابن عمه يشوف جاره يشوف قريبه يشوف حدا مستشهد قدامه ينقتل قدامه.
Sabri was forced to close up shop. While shelling was still going on outside, Sabri's sons came to salvage the inventory they'd prepared to sell during Ramadan.
الأشياء الموجودة عندنا هنا أشياء أصلاً كانت مشغولة من قبل الحرب يعني في أواخر شهر رمضان فما بقدر أسيبها أنا تخرب فلهيك بكملها بس يعني مش إن أنا بنتج الشغلات عشان أقدر أبيع يعني ما في أصلاً سوق للبيع الشوارع فاضية ما في حتى السير على الأقدام للمواطنين لأنه الخوف والذعر في لدى المواطنين هو أصوات القصف.
By the end of the 11-day war, more than 450 buildings were damaged or destroyed in an area roughly the size of Detroit.
هلا انت يعني في حرب بين حياة وبين موت يعني قصف طائرات دبابات مدافع صواريخ كيف الواحد الإنسان في أثناء حرب إنه تجيني بس يشتغل.
No one in Sabri's family died this time, but he says he lost a quarter of his inventory because of the vibrations from nearby explosions. He restarted production shortly after the ceasefire.
وقاعد بدك تشده لما بده يشتغل زي واحد مرخى وقاعد بتعطيه عيان وقاعد بطيب فيه والحمد لله.
But the holiday of Eid al-Adha was just 2 months away in July, so Sabri couldn't afford to take a break. His father taught him the craft when he opened the store in the 1960s. Today, Sabri designs the artwork himself.
كمخترع كصاحب محل لازم هو اللي يخترع الشغلة ويقول للمعلم اشتغل كذا وكذا. يعني أنا بقول للصانع اللي عندي المعلم هذا بقول له اشتغل كذا كذا. فهمت؟ هاي بريك صغير اشتغل فيها شوفوا أنت كيف بتشغل البريك. العلم كشف وأنا قلت لك انه كشف انه الوضع الماء في داخل الفخار يعيد حيوية الماء إلى طبيعتها الأصلية كما طلعت من بطن الأرض.
Smaller terracotta pots meant for salad are another bestseller during this time. Before the Israeli blockade, Sabri used to sell 300 of these pots every day. Now he can't even sell that in 1 year. Everything changed when Hamas won the election in 2006. Israel and Egypt consider it a terrorist group and put strict rules in place limiting what goods could come in and out of Gaza. Israel says the blockade is necessary for security reasons, but Palestinians say it amounts to collective punishment of everyone in Gaza. Sabri's business plummeted.
بسبب الحصار بسبب الحروب ما اقدرش اجيب المواد هذه ما اقدرش اكمل حالي.
In a place where nearly 60% of people live in poverty, traditional handmade ceramicware just can't compete with cheap metal pots and plastic bowls. He's had to let go of all of his employees. Now he keeps things going with just his family. To cut costs, he fires the clay in wood-powered furnaces.
فإذا كان احنا حرقنا في هذه المادة احنا حرقنا يعني بالكهرباء أو في الغاز أو الصرف مكلف علينا يعني بيقدر يكلفنا مبالغ طاهلة ما بنقدرش نحطه على المستهلك هذه الكمية.
But this ancient technique produces a lot of smoke, and neighbors have been complaining.
كنا منبهين عليهم إنه هذا فيه دخان وفيه فخاخير وفيه بل سكنوا جنبنا ليش؟ أخذوها بتراب مصاري الأرض عشان جنب الفخورة.
In early 2021, the municipality made it illegal to run the kiln. Still, he's determined not to give up until the next generation of Atallahs can take over.
كيف طموح؟ كيف شايف كيف ذهب مستوية؟ مستوية؟ أنا إلي حب هذه في الصناعة هذه صناعة الفخار يعني كمتوسك بوطني أو بابني أو بشيء غالي علي.
And his nephew Mustafa feels the same way.
علمني إياها أبويا الوالد علمني إياها وصرت أشتغل فيها وأنا إن شاء الله بدي أعلمها لأولادي إن شاء الله بإذن الله.